Welcome to the Midlife Truth Bomb Show. And I am blessed to have a conversation with Dr. Tayo. And today we're talking about standards dropping when energy drops. Go for
Okay.
it, Dr. Tayo.
Okay. Well, you know what happens with your energy? Like we've talked about this in a different way before, but your brain is an energy hog. It takes about 20% of the whole energy that's available to your body, even though it's only 2% of your body mass. So you can imagine
Mm.
that once your energy begins dropping, your brain, because it's a non-essential organ. We like to think it's essential, but it's not essential in survival mode, which is how the body functions. The body wants you to be in survival first. Every other thing comes secondary. And because your brain is not a survival organ, it basically shuts down, which means, guess what? Your decisions are not what they need to be. You've put these various decision-making things in your frontal lobe, they've gone offline. And so that's exactly what happens. Your standards, the kind of things you set for yourself, they start going down. The decisions you make are no longer as good as they should be. The habits you've been
Mm.
forming, kind of like, because habits, decisions, they're not survival tactics, they're higher level functions. And those higher level functions means that even with things like making a decision, should I go out with him? Should I, should we text? Should we whatever? All of those things are gone. What the body is now saying is that I don't have the energy to think about any of these things to make the right decisions. And then what ends up
Mm.
happening? You make the wrong decisions because you're just picking at the nearest available thing, which may not be the best
Yeah.
thing in the long run.
Yeah, and I guess that shows up a lot with my clients in as much as that, well, he's chosen me or we've been on a date. I'm not particularly keen on this, and this, or is this and this a question? And instead of spending time to investigate that, they either A, just pull away, or more importantly, just put up with. And so they're
Oh,
compromised because they don't have the energy, the space. So it's interesting the way that you were saying that they really, if it was an emergency in life, or for a lot of people who have children or
yeah.
pets even, they would make their decision like, oh no, this babysitter's not right for my child because they said they don't like kids that scream, or they love
Yeah.
looking after kids as long as they do what they're told, which kids don't always do what they're told. So if you were interviewing somebody to look after your beautiful little cats, or a child or whatever, it doesn't matter. You wouldn't skip those things that you notice. You would keep them as very important things. But when it comes to love in our hearts, we allow ourselves and our hearts to be open with people that are below the standards of what we would accept. That
Yeah.
is that is something I
It's a
struggle to
low
figure
energy
out.
behavior. Yeah, it's a low energy behavior because you're not actually functioning with all of you. You're
Yes.
functioning with your survival brain, and your survival brain is not meant to make decisions like that. It's
Mm.
got other things to think about, like, we're running from that saber-toothed tiger. I haven't seen any going around the streets recently, going around the saber-toothed tiger, or the house falling down or something. That's what the brain wants to deal with, and all the other things it just takes shortcuts, and those
Mm.
shortcuts are not necessarily the best thing for you.
Yes, true. Actually, I was thinking when you were saying that, you'd probably have a bit of a giggle because
Yeah.
I'm in Australia, as it most people would know, in Queensland, and I was walking the dog yesterday or the day before, actually, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, there was a huge kangaroo. So
Okay.
I wasn't quite running from a tiger, but I was definitely like, okay, how do I get my dog not to go up and say hello to this kangaroo, but to come back to me so I could exit
Uh,
that,
you
because
know,
they can kick a punch, right? They're
yeah.
known for punching and kicking. But you see, the thing is as well that what I feel is we generally, as women, have
Hmm.
been, I don't see brought up, but traditionally we have
Yes.
put other people before us,
Yeah.
and not necessarily saw. the urgency or the need to stand so strong on us and what we need. And our
Correct.
energy can be dropped generally. I was a mother of three running a business with 30
Yeah.
staff. Now, that was at the side of my home. My children came in for their breakfast. I was in the office. They came to say goodbye. I was in the office. So
Mm.
my energy was often very low. And I did continually drop my standards with what I would accept towards me, not towards my children. Anything happened with my children or my staff, somebody was rude to one of my staff, I'd get on the phone quick, smart, and have no problems losing that customer.
Mm.
But when it came to me, my standards were dropped because my energy was so low.
Yes, because you were just on survival tactics. You were just on survival
Mm.
mode. You were just on what do I need to do to keep this train running? And
Yes,
that train, unfortunately, if it's not survival for yourself, so the rest you let go. You say it's I'm surviving, but you're not thriving because
yes.
you direct it to the other things you perceive as more important than yourself, and you
Mm.
are on survival and they're on thriving, which is
Do you
quite,
know, I feel like I was surviving, not thriving. I was
yeah,
thriving in some ways for right up until I was 60. And that's why
right.
the logo that goes with my butterflies is release your wings and thrive.
Yes, yes.
Because there is a portion of me that feels like that. And that's really when you actually realize that, it's quite awakening, but it's quite tough to then start putting your boundaries in place with people, so that you can lift your standards again.
Well, guess what? You are just leading us into our next topic of conversation, which is the invisible pressure of being the strong one.
Oh my
So,
goodness. I
I
can't read
know.
anything because I don't have any glasses. And it's evidence, anyone that knows me knows I need glasses to read on the screen. And it's just evidence that none of this is scripted. And I love that. We have a little title because we've been requested to speak about these topics. But aside from that, there ain't no script here.
No, 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 no such thing. I mean, we just come in as they can see, we just talk about what we know, what we observe, and what readers have asked us about. And the three of them usually come together anyway, because we are keen observers of humanity, of the world around us, and of the
Hmm.
topics that affect our women, midlife women. So we drop those truth bombs.
And we
So
go with the flow.
we absolutely go with the flow. So let's see. Okay, so we're on to
Next
this one,
time,
next one, and we're so bye everyone.
subscribe, follow, comment.
Please.
Ciao,
Thank you.
Bella.
Ciao, ciao.